Okay, welcome back to... Now this is the third turn of the Empire of the Rising Sun scenario from Dave LeLacheur's Blitz A World in Conflict, which is a very nice strategic level war game covering the whole war, but here I'm only showing you the Pacific War scenario. And we have come now to the third turn of the scenario, which is turn 6 if you play the whole game. The Japanese were able to score a victory point last turn, and the US have not yet scored anything. Let's see what will happen this turn. So, as usual, we begin with the Axis player returning to base and move to sea area and sea area combat, and then we can rebase and move land units. What do we want to do this turn? I think in this game you sort of have to ask yourself your objectives for the turn. It's nice to be able to predict how much oil you want to spend on your blitz. Let's say we want to save the oil this turn as Japanese player, to be able to do a total blitz at some point in the future. Well, I think what it's looking grim to hold on to the Bismarck Sea. I mean, we can get in the mobile fleet and potentially the second strike fleet, but the US have lots of nice units that they will throw in here, and they have lots of these minus triangles. I mean, we could probably make it, I'm talking as the Japanese now, we can probably be lucky, or we don't even have to be that lucky, so we can probably still have a presence here. But I'm wondering how much resources it is worth it. I mean, we'll definitely take lots of step losses, and maybe we'll be better off saving those for a future turn. This invasion force here, it will be able to move into the Bismarck Sea, so it can go out 1 and then 2 into one of these areas, and that's not real threat to us right now. But they can move out to these areas, and then in the next turn they could rebase and then go again into one of these sea areas, and that would be annoying. But I wonder how much. So they can do it in their blitz phase. They can probably do a full blitz and take one of the islands if we let go of Bismarck Sea. I mean, we can even stay here and force the transport. If they move into the Bismarck Sea while we still have our fleet here, and there's a combat in the zone, and we get more than one step loss, we can put the step loss on the Pacific transport. So it's kind of a risk for them to do that. So if we don't concentrate forces here, let's say that we concentrate our fleet into the Bismarck Sea. Can they come up with something else then? Then they could go 1, 2, and then rebase in the blitz phase here, and then go 1, 2, and then invade, for example, Mariana Islands instead. It's a tricky situation here. I don't really want to concentrate my fleet here, but if I don't, if I just leave a few units here, then they will concentrate their fleet and destroy it, or not destroy it, but severely harm it and force lots of rebasing, and then I won't have fleets at sea next. Yeah, I think maybe we just give up the Bismarck Sea. Try to cover Micronesia and later Gulf instead. Let's try to do that. So in that case, I probably want to bring down the Corpus Bearded Sphere garrison into Hollandia. So I will rebase this one. I'll go 1, 2 into Manila, or is it connected actually? Sorry. So this one can go 2 movement, so it was up here, so we can move 1, and then it has 1 more from the East China Sea. I'm wondering if this sea zone is connected to the East China Sea. I don't remember. I think this was errata or something. It's not quite clear from the map if you can move directly from East China Sea into Manila. Let's say you can't. Then we would have to go to Formosa. And then let's move this one. Can rebase also to Formosa. The second strike fleet will go to Palau Island. The Imperial Navy will rebase to Mariana Islands. And the combined fleet as well will go to Carolina Islands. So we've rebased all or returned to base. And now let's see how we will try to protect this. So we would probably want one of these big guys. I think we'll go with this one to Leyte Gulf. And the mobile fleet to Micronesia. The Imperial Navy Air will go to Micronesia. The second strike will go to Leyte Gulf. So now we have 2 units in each sea area. And yeah, at least that's something. I mean, as a Japanese player, we also have these naval air, but we have decided to commit them in China. Right now they're sorely needed at sea, so let's hope that they can achieve some more victories in China quickly, and then we can try to get them out of there. Okay, now we have a sea area combat in this in Micronesia here because of the Allied air. We have, as the Japanese, we have 4 factors plus 1 from the plus sign on the Allied air. So we have 5 as the Japanese, and the US have 3. So 3 for the US, 5 for the Japanese. Both roll 3. 3 for the US, that's a small retreat, which is a bit annoying for the Japanese. 3 on the 5, that's a step loss and no retreat. So they take a step loss, and we have to retreat 1 unit. It was a S result. 2 units when you have an S result, so it's 1/3 of 2, which is rounded up to 1, so we have to rebase 1. I'll rebase this small one. Maybe we can use a free blitz to move it out to C again. Oh, I forgot. We also wanted to move out these transports during the move to C area. So they go from Formosa 1, 2 into South China Sea. And the one that is empty, we should probably keep it at C somewhere because we don't want to give the US a free victory point. So I'll go up 1, 2 to Okhotsk Sea. Okay, and then we have land area combat and movement. So let's see what we're doing here. Okay. We could go and take Canton. This space doesn't really do anything for us right now. We get a victory point for taking over a factory. That's about it. And we can get more victory points later for having CBI. But then we would have to garrison it, and I think if we go to try to take Chongqing, then they have this annoying garrison unit again. So what we want to do is to try to reduce some unit that actually cost them resources to rebuild, and at the same time bomb their factory so that they can't rebuild it. So I'm gonna not do any land movement. Oh yeah, I am actually. Down here we're gonna embark or disembark into Hollandia with our garrison. And that's it for the land movement. Oh, actually now I told you about the bombing. So every new turn you remove these bombed tokens. So now again we can get the +1 from the factory if we try to strategically bomb here. And I think that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna try to strategically bomb with this one. Yeah, let's do that. And then we're gonna go and attack with these two. They are held because of the mountains, and they will get some support from the zeros. Okay, so the Chinese, actually the Imperial Army will help out here. They will also do strategic bombing, so maybe that's gonna be 3, 4 on the fort. Just a 50% chance of actually hitting something. I think we'll switch around, so we'll do no, let's do like this. That's good. So the allied player now has to decide whether or not to commit the Flying Tigers, potentially losing them and another resource that they have to rebuild. I don't think they should try here, or maybe they should. It's 5. They would roll on the 6th table, and these guys would roll on table 2, which is Can't really do much on table 2. I think maybe I'm not sure that they should commit the Flying Tigers at all. They could force a rebase of one of these though, but yeah, okay, let's commit the Flying Tigers to this combat here. So there will be a near-to-air combat here. The Chinese will roll on table 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, table 4 actually. Oh. And the Japanese will roll on table 5, 6 for the plus sign here. So 4 for the US or Chinese and 6 for the Japanese. So the Japanese roll 2 on the 6th table. And table 4 for the US, that's nothing. And this is a large retreat, which means that the Flying Tigers has to fly home. Okay, so nothing really happened there. And then we have the strategic bombing. So we have 11 non-strategic bombing factors, so that's rounded up to 6 strategic bombing factors. So on a 3+ roll, we'll remove the resource. Actually, I forgot again. We have a factory here that's now getting a +1. So instead of rolling on column 6, we actually roll on column 7, but it's still the same. We need 3 or more to blow away the resource. And we didn't. So the factory is not bombed. And then we rebase these. And now let's see what happens in the land area combat here. So, as I said, these are halved because of the mountains. So we have 4. And we have 5 non-ground combat factors. So these are halved down to rounded to 3. So we get a total of 7 in attack. And the Allies have 3. So 3 for the Allies and 7 for the Japanese. 5 for the Japanese, 6 for the Japanese and 5 for the Allies. Okay, so a 5 on column 3, that's a 1-step loss. A 6 on column 7, that's a 2-step loss. Okay, so that is actually quite good for the Japanese, because then they can also advance into Lanzhou. So these are destroyed. And we have to reduce 1 size units. We'll take the China Expeditionary Force. And let's move in with both units into Lanzhou. Or maybe not, actually. Maybe we just keep one unit here so we can take Canton. These guys could still stay here. And I think that's it for the land area combat. It was good to destroy that army. They will be able to rebuild it though in Chungking. So that concludes the Axis player turn. Let's see if there's something we missed. I don't think there is. Okay, so that's it for the Axis player turn.